Hello and good evening, everyone. This is our first session of 2021. I would like to wish all of you a very, very happy new year. And may your year be filled with, first of all, happiness, some good health, and also prosperity. When people describe what they most want out of life, happiness is almost or always on the list. Very frequently, it is at the top of the list, like today. When people describe what they want in life for their children too, they frequently mention health and wealth, but most of all they say is, I want my kids to be happy. Happiness appears to be one of the most important goals, if not the important one. It is one of the most important ones. But what is it? And how do people get it? So today's topic is happiness within. And joining us today is Sister Ritu from Bombay. She is a brilliant speaker and has been awarded for her contribution in training and development from various countries in Asia and Dubai. She has also been a speaker in TEDx and has appeared on television show Hum Honge Kamyab, which translates as We Will Be Successful, for students as a guest speaker. So let us all welcome Sister Ritu. Good afternoon, sister.
Good afternoon, sister. Good afternoon to everyone who's there with us on this webinar. And it's a pleasure being with you this evening. For you, it's evening, so it's a pleasure for me to be with all of you this evening. Thank you.
So over to you now, sister.
Sure. So, what we do is we start with a short reflection exercise. What I want you to do is for a couple of minutes, you can just leave everything aside. Let's say if you're holding on to something, maybe a mobile phone or a book or a pen or anything, for a couple of minutes, you could just leave that aside and just be with yourself. Yeah. So, very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Little time for your own self, away from everything outside, your own time. Allow your body to relax. Let the chair take your weight, and your body is very, very relaxed. Now, in your mind's eye, recollect a moment when you were very, very happy. A situation where you experienced deep, deep happiness and contentment. It could be a week back, a month back, a year back, or maybe a couple of years back. A situation where you were very, very happy. Can you, in your mind, feel, experience that moment right now? What is the situation? Who are the people around? Just be in that moment for a couple of more seconds and experience that happiness fully and completely. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. So while you continue to be in that experience or that situation where you experience lot of happiness, what I want you to next do is just think about it. Just reflect. Was it the situation that influenced how you felt in that situation? Or was it your state of mind or your feelings that determined how situation turned out to be? What's true for you in your life? Just reflect on this question. What influences what? Is it the situation that influences how you feel? Or is it how you feel influences the situation? What's true for you? And while you reflect, whatever comes to your mind, right? It could be, however the situation is, it influences how I feel. Or if it's how I feel starts influencing how the situation around is, or it's sometimes 50-50. Sometimes it's this and sometimes it's that. So whatever comes to your mind, whatever is true for you, you could share with us. Either unmute yourself and share with us, or you can put it up in the chat box and share with us. What's true for you? So one is, I start speaking about happiness and so many researches and theories that are there about happiness. But how do I relate to, what we are listening to our lives? That will happen only when we start sharing. When you kind of reflect, to your life and your situations, and then we kind of, relate those things to discussion that will happen today in this webinar. So that will require for you to little bit open up, share with us what's true for you. Is it that the situation determines how you feel, or is it how you feel determines how the situation ends up to be? What's true for you? Yes, anybody?
I think I'll start, sister. So I would like to share the instance that came to my mind at that time when you were telling us to have a reflection, was that when we were during Christmas, we were together, my family, we all were together, four of us, the children were together with us. And although we just had a simple lunch and dinner, it was a quiet one because everybody is home. But just being together made us so happy, being healthy, being together. And again, having that flashback, recalling that moments of being together with the family brought back that happiness within me again.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So that's a beautiful sharing, that situation that where you experienced a lot of happiness. So what could be true? Is it that the situation made you feel happy, or was it that, because you were happy, you were contented, you were able to make that experience even more beautiful? What could be true? Is it that, your state of mind influenced that gathering, that being together made it even more beautiful, or was it that the situation influenced how you felt? What was true for you?
I think for me, it was because we were together, although we were home, we didn't go out anywhere.
Yeah.
We just normally we have a secret Santa amongst ourselves at home. We
Okay.
didn't even do that this time. But yeah, we had a good laugh and we were talking about, actually, the children were talking about how we used to spend our Christmas meals. So they asked me and my husband how we would spend our Christmas with the family when we were younger, and sharing that moment with them created that happiness within us.
Wonderful, beautiful, very nice. So somewhere, what I hear is one, it is the state of mind which did influence how you were feeling, how the situation was, and second, the situation of being with them influenced how you were feeling, right? This could be true for most of us here on this webinar. You could also reflect upon this question a little more deeper as to what determines my happiness. You know, it's, is it the situation or is it how I feel? And then, you know, sometimes it happens that things outside are not so positive. Let's say, you know, if I've had some disagreement with my spouse and I think, no, this thing should be like this, it should be handled in this way, and my spouse feels, no, 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 this is not how it should be, you know, taken care of, I think this is how it should be. In that kind of situation also, let's say if I am stable, I am calm, I don't end up reacting saying that, no, this is how the things should happen. It's just the state of mind. If I was calm at that time and did not react, chances are that the situation outside also turned up to be a little better than otherwise. These are little experiences that all of us have in our lives, where sometimes it is, you know, how we feel starts influencing the situation, and at times it is how the situation outside is starts influencing our state of mind. Yeah, our state of happiness, how we experience our life to be, it starts influencing our state of mind. Yeah. So the next question that I have for everybody along with us today is that how comfortable or how safe is it for our state of mind to allow the situation to determine how happy I am? Yeah, especially at this point in time where outside things may not be the way I want them to be. Yeah, I may have celebrated Christmas in a way, but there may be some restrictions and we may not be able to do things that we love to do. We may like to go out with our family. There may be some restriction due to, you know, the outside situation right now that all of us are going through. Or if we look at people around, there are times when people, you know, our very close ones, our loved ones may behave in the way that we want them to, you know, kind of be, or they may also behave in another way. Yeah. In a situation like this, where outside things may be as per, you know, what I feel they should be, or they may not be that way. Yeah. In such situation, the question that I want you to reflect, you know, all of us here on this webinar, I want you to reflect is, how safe is it for us to allow situation to determine our state of happiness? Yeah. Why is it important for us to answer this question? Is because if situation determines how happy I am, then chances are that my graph of happiness goes like this, up and down. If people talk, behave the way I want them to behave, I am happy. If situation outside turns out to be all right, I am happy. But if it's anything otherwise, then how will I feel? Will I feel happy then? Chances are that my happiness, the level of my happiness or the graph of my happiness goes down then. Yeah. So what is important is we empower ourselves or we find happiness in the right place. So then we are able to, you know, stay in that state of mind and then influence the outside situations. All of us have that experience that, you know, because we were happy, we were comfortable, we were stable, we influence outside situation to be better. So wherever I am and whatever situation I am at this point in time, can I influence outside situation for a little better? Wherever it is. Let's say if it's at 60%, if it's at 70% of happiness, wherever it is, it may be 40, 50, 60, whatever, each for each one of us it may be different. Our life situations right now may be different. So wherever I am in my life right now, if I am stable, comfortable, and I look for happiness not outside, what happens then is I'm able to influence the outside situation for a little better. Yeah, and that's where, so if I ask a question, so another question that I have for you is, it's this session would be very, very reflection based. Why? Because when we start reflecting about our lives, it's then that the learning happens in the best possible way. One is, we could hear. When we hear, what happens is, our mind may still go here and there, but while we are reflecting, our mind is so engaged that the learning is much higher. So the next question that I have for all of us here is, how do you want to experience your life? Is it okay that you sometimes are not happy or sad or angry or not so comfortable? Because see, when we talk about these emotions like unhappiness, or we talk about anger, frustration, irritation, all of these emotions, somewhere we don't feel comfortable experiencing these emotions, right? So if I ask you, what is it that you want to experience? Chances are that you would say that I want to experience stability, happiness, peace, all of that at all point in time. It's not like sometimes I want to be happy, sometimes I don't want to be happy. We never say that, right? We always end up saying, I want to be happy all the time. Yeah, I want my people around to be happy all the time. Yeah, so in that case, you know uh, there are three circles of life that we need to kind of reflect upon. The first circle of our lives for all of us, yeah, so our situations may be different, our state of mind may be very, very different for all of us here, but there is one thing which is very common, which is the circles that we have for our lives. The first circle of our life is circle of control. Yeah, things in my control, how I think, every thought, very, very important for us to understand, our every thought creates our feelings. Thought and feeling. One thought, a positive thought, a comfortable thought, how would you feel? You'll start feeling comfortable. One not so positive thought, the feeling will be not so positive. And that's what determines our experiences of life. Yeah, our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. So if you want to experience life in a positive way, the beginning step is my thoughts. Yeah, so what is in my control in my life is my thought and my feelings, and then how I behave. The thoughts that we have, accordingly our behaviors will also be influenced. So my thought and feelings is something that I can work upon, is something that I can control, or something that I can channelize. So that's a circle of control. Another circle of our life is, which is very, very big, which is circle of no control, things that are beyond our control. Yeah, how outside things turn out to be, how government regulations turn out to be, how the organization or institutes, the policies of the place where we are working, how that turns out to be, how things change outside, all of that, how this pandemic will shape up, will the second wave, and wherever, whichever place I am in right now, and how things are shaping up to be, things outside not in my control. Yeah, now the question that I want you to reflect again upon is, if I am trying to control things which are not in my control, let's say I want things outside to be become better, faster, okay, I want them to be okay, I want them to be all right. Now if that's the thought that I have, chances are that I may not experience a lot of stability. Why? Because it's not in my control. Even if I keep thinking about it the entire day, not that my overthinking will end up making the situation to be better. Yeah. So things which are beyond my control, I let go of controlling. Controlling may not be, so one is, we do something to change it. But what we end up sometimes doing is just thinking about it, I hope things get better, I hope things are fine, I hope um, my child is okay, and everything outside. So we're thinking about it. When we are thinking, not that we are changing it, but what we are only doing is we are again, things which are in our control, which are our thoughts, we're not working upon them, but we're trying to control outside situations. So one, what is in my control, I start working upon things which are in my control. Two, things which are not in my control, what do? I allow. Yeah, because anyways my thinking about it may not change anything, it'll just, and I'll end up overthinking, I'll feel stress, sometimes we feel anxiety about things, controlling things which we are not able to control, and hence I allow, and at times let go things to be as they are. So circle of control, first circle of our life, circle of, no control, things which are not in my control. And one more circle that we have in our lives is circle of influence. Okay, let's say how my child behaves, or how my spouse behave, or anybody around, my friends would behave with me, that may not be in my control, but I can influence them for a little better. For example, if let's say my spouse says something which I don't like, and if I also end up saying something, then I'm influencing them for not so positive behavior, yeah, which will not make them feel comfortable, that will not make us feel comfortable. But if through my thought, feeling, and behavior, which is in my control, if I, respond in a positive way, I can influence them for a positive thought, feeling, or a behavior. Yeah. So circle of control, circle of no control, and circle of influence. If you're able to understand that, the only thing which is in our control is how I think, how I feel, how I respond to situations or people around, then what it does is, very simply, it allows me to become a little more stable. I start focusing my attention on things that are in my control. So, what determines my happiness then is, one is the situation, second is the state of mind or the experience that I have, the screen that you see, situation and experience that we have. In between both of these things, there is one thing which determines our experience, okay? Situation and experience. So that experience that I have in my life, whatever situation may be outside, what determines my experience is where I choose to focus my attention on. To understand this very simply, what I want you to do is just look around the place that you are. Okay, whichever room or wherever you're sitting right now, just look around the place and count the number of things that you like. Yeah, so there may be things that you may really like, you've specially got them, you've placed them in the place where they are, and just look around and count the number of things that you like. Yeah, good. Now, what I want you to do is count the number of things that you don't like. They may just be there, but not that you really appreciate it, but they're there around. So, number of things that you don't like. Yeah. Is there anything around that you don't like? Don't worry, I'll not ask you how many things that you like and you don't like. Otherwise, we'll have to get an interior designer to, redesign our houses. No, that's not the objective. What I want you to realize here is, while you were counting things that you liked, there were also things which you didn't like. Yeah, but your attention was on things that you liked, and that's what created your experience. Again, when you were counting things, that's our attention, right? When you were counting things that you don't like so much, but they're there around, but you chose to focus on them, there were also things around which you liked. but what is it that you chose to focus your attention on? It's exactly same for our life situations also. Yeah, we may have things that we really like, we may have things that we may not appreciate so much. It could be situation, people, or their behavior. It could be anything which may not be so as the way you want them to be. What is it that you choose to focus your attention on through the day? Yeah, just think about it. What do you choose to focus? I mean, where do you focus your attention more? Why do you speak like that? Why do you keep your things in this way? There are times when we think more and we pay our attention more to things that may not be so much the way we want them to be. Yeah, so what I want you to do is just reflect and look at your entire day. Let's say we look at the entire day today. It may be 5 o'clock, around 5 o'clock at your place. So I want you to think about today, since morning till 5 p.m. What did you choose to focus your attention on throughout the day? And that is what will determine the experience that you had throughout the day. Yeah, what I want you to now look at is the screen that you have. Okay, what do you see on the screen? Can you put it in the chat box? Anybody who would like to share, what do you see on the screen? Do you see anything on the screen? Anybody? What do you see on the screen? Any thoughts? Yeah.
Someone has written a lot of white.
Ah, beautiful. A lot of white. Anything else that you see? Beautiful. That's a wonderful sharing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
A circle.
A circle. Okay, beautiful. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
And
A
then
very white screen. Beautiful. Yes.
a white background with a black dot.
Okay, white
The next,
background.
yeah. And then white sheet with a small dot.
Okay.
Black dot surrounded by the white background.
Mm-hmm.
I see
Okay.
white paper with a black point, with a big black point.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sister, for sharing the sharings that have come.
Yeah, and from YouTube, we have a comment, a big white screen, white
Wonderful.
screen. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing what you could see on the screen. Whenever we do this exercise, the same screen, okay, the same screen, the same image that is there, but everybody responds to that same screen in a very, very different way. Okay. The first response that I usually get is people say, okay, I can see, a black dot, or people may say a black dot with white screen, or we may also say that we see a lot of white space on the screen. Yeah, so the same screen, but what is it that you choose to focus your attention on? Is it that black dot? Now let's relate this back to our lives. Yeah, when we look at our lives, what is it that we choose to focus on? All of us in our lives may have certain black dots. Yeah, nobody of our lives may be free of these black dots, which may be not so positive situations or behaviors that may be around. Yeah, and there may be also a lot of things that we can be grateful for. What I next want you to do is, like we counted things around which were things that we like. I want you to take a book or a pen or your mobile and just make a note of three things. These are those white spaces in our lives, right? So what I want you to next do is make a note of three things that you are grateful for. What is it that you are grateful for in life? It could be that my family is safe, our people, our people around are safe, or it could be some other thing, anything that you in your life are grateful for. Three things. Yeah, and if you wish to, you could also share with us in the chat box. Three things that you are grateful for. So you could choose one thing out of that. That's the top in that list. That's very, very important to you. You could share that one thing with us in the chat box as well. Yeah. So what is it that I am grateful for in life? The white spaces of our lives. It's the support that we have of people around, in spite of difficulties, in spite of, everything that may be a little difficult outside. The support that I receive from my family or my friends, or anything, that you could be grateful for. Now, what I want you to think about is we have these white spaces. How much of my time and attention goes in appreciating the white spaces of our lives? Yes. So, Sister Maya has shared my siblings. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us that you're grateful for family, your siblings that you have. Thank you. Thank you. That really means a lot to us when you share with us. It really uh, helps us connect with you even more deeper. Yeah. So wonderful. Thank you for sharing with us. And the thought that I want you to kind of reflect upon is how much time do I spend in my entire day appreciating those people and those situations that are those white spaces in our lives? So one homework in India, we call it homework. When people go to schools and colleges, we usually end up getting a lot of homework. So one homework, since I'm from India and we're so much used to this homework culture, so I have one little homework for all of you here, and that homework is whoever the person in your list is. I want you to reach out to them today after this session, okay, and tell them how grateful you are for their presence in your life. Can we do that? Yeah. One is what it'll do is it'll make you feel very comfortable. Why? Because you're choosing to focus your attention on things which you appreciate in your life. Yeah. And second, very, very important is when you express, see, of course, they would know that they are important to you, but when there are times when we take that time out and share with them as to, how much you value them, it will make them also feel that sense of happiness. So you influence them through your thought, feeling, and your behavior. What you're doing is you are influencing them too for happiness. So that's one little homework that I have for all of us here on this webinar. Yeah. So when I choose to focus my attention on those white spaces, definitely what it does is it increases the level of my happiness. Then I choose to focus on those white spaces, right? So the situation, whatever be the situation, if the situation is positive, of course it enhances my experience of happiness. But even when situations are not so positive, when situations may be a little more difficult and we may lose that sense of happiness, even then, if I choose to focus on things which are positive, what it does is it helps me become more stable, and my happiness is then intact. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't work on things outside, or we don't make situation outside, all right? No, but what it only means is I work upon them with a more stable state of mind. Situation, let's say very difficult, but if my state of mind is okay, when I choose to focus on white spaces, my mind becomes stable. And then if I have to make any effort towards the situation, I definitely do that. Yeah. But when I do that with a stable state of mind, with a comfortable state of mind, I'm able to handle even the outside situations a little more better. And then that's how my happiness is. Yeah. Another thing that we, sometimes end up, where we end up losing our happiness at times is things about past, past or future. Yeah. Both of these things are beyond our circle of control. Past, how much ever I visit the past, okay, I may not get anything new. That's the reality of our life. Yeah. How much ever I visit my past, I may get the same experience which I have always got. So, psychologists and people who study mind, what they say is if I live in past more, chances are I may live in lot of sadness. Yeah, because there are times when we think about past, we don't really focus on the positive experiences and good memories that we have. We end up focusing at times on situations that are not so positive. Yeah, so we end up getting same experiences. Another thing where we lose our happiness is thinking about future. Hope the curve flattens fast. Hope the situation outside gets better. Hope my job, my job security and all of that is okay. I hope I don't lose. So thinking about future. Yeah. So I'm not saying we don't plan for future. Of course, we plan for the future. What is planning for future? I need to do, I need to reach XYZ destination, or it could be, let's say if after this session I need to cook, I need to prepare food for myself and for my family. So that's something that I need to do. The planning could be I need ingredient A, B, C. If I have that, I'll be able to do. So planning is, do I have A, B, and C? That's planning. Yeah. But what it means to live in future, I hope they like what I prepare. I hope the quantity of salt is okay. So all that is living in future. Planning is I need one, two, three. Do I have this? And then my all my energy, attention, effort goes into doing what I need to do. Yeah. But living in future is thinking about it. I hope things turn out to be okay. I hope they don't. So that is living in future. So, at times when we lose our happiness, it could be either because we, end up living a little more in past. If we living in past, we live in little more sadness. If we live in future, okay, we live in more of anxiety and fear because that's not something which is in our control and we don't know how future will turn out to be. It can be good, it can be a little challenging, but even if it's challenging, all of us have that inner capability to handle challenging situation when they come up. Yeah, all of us have that experience. There is something that went was a little difficult, but when that situation was there, you did handle it. Could be health of a family member, it could be some financial situation. But in our past life, if we have, I mean, we have experienced in our life such situations, and when that situation came up, we handled it in our own best possible way, right? But something which is not there, I cannot work upon it. And that's why it creates more of anxiety and fear. Yeah. So the only thing which is in my control and where my happiness lies is the present moment. This moment. Yeah, which is in my control. So let's say even if I have to plan for future, I plan, I need A, B, C ingredients. I look at it and then I'm here and now. Yeah, in this present moment. What is a beautiful life or what is a happy life? If I have to very simply define a happy life, it is collection of these happy moments. This 1 second that's going, can I live this 1 second fully and completely? Then this next 1 second which is coming. Then this next 1 second which comes up. Yeah, collection of these one, each moment that's going. Collection of these moments becomes our life. And the experiences that we have in each of these moments is what becomes the experience of our lives. So, can I live this moment fully and completely? Yeah. So let's all, all of us try this for next few seconds, just 3 seconds. Okay. Just tell yourself neither the past nor the future. This moment. Can I experience and live this moment fully and completely? Just be there in this 1 second that's going. How do you feel? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more comfortable? Yeah, this is what present moment awareness, being aware of here and now makes us feel. It makes us feel very, very relaxed. Why? Because this is the only moment which is in my control. This is the only moment where life is actually happening. And that's why when I live in the here and now, what it does is it makes me feel very, very relaxed and comfortable. Yeah? But it's a practice that I need to develop for myself. Every time that I realize that, I'm overthinking about something, it will be either about past or future. So what I do is I bring my attention back to this moment. When you're able to do that, the mind is very, very relaxed. And when mind is relaxed, what you can actually do is, suppose I'm driving. Okay, I'm driving at, let's say, 120, speed of 120 kilometer per hour. In India, that's also good enough. I mean, that's a good speed. So let's say if I'm driving at 120 and I have to take a turn, I have to take a left turn. What I will first do is, first I will slow down the speed a little bit and then I'll turn wherever I want to turn, right? So that's what we are doing. For experiencing happiness and for creating happy, comfortable thoughts, I first need to first relax my mind, slow down the speed of my thoughts, and then channelize my thoughts towards experiences that you want to have in your life. So when we become present moment aware, what it does is it slows down the speed of our thoughts. Yeah. And then we are relaxed. When we are relaxed, we are able to channelize our thought processes towards experiences that we want to have in our lives. Yeah, which is, let's say, create a positive thought. When I become aware, it's only then that I'll be able to create positive thoughts. Otherwise, it's like, at the background there's so many thoughts we aren't even aware. There are so many studies that have happened on mind, where psychologists say we have so many thoughts. Every few seconds we have thought and we are not even aware about those thoughts. They put up some machine, and when we create, the mind creates thought, it touches the brain waves are created, and then they study how many thoughts we have, and they say we create so many thoughts all throughout the day, and we're not even aware of what kind of thoughts we have. We're only aware about the feelings that we experience through the day, but we are not aware about these thoughts. So if at any point in time you're not feeling good, the mood is not so good, I'm not feeling good, don't change the feeling. Okay, what you only need to do is step back, observe what you're thinking, become present moment aware, become aware of your thoughts, observe what you're feeling, become aware of your feelings, and then become aware of your thoughts, and then create the right thought. And that's what we do in meditation. We create right thoughts for having positive experiences in our lives. Yeah. So let's take couple of moments to experience what we heard in last 45 minutes. Yeah. So very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Once we experience what we heard in meditation, a little short meditation practice that we do now, post that. If there are any questions, we would also take up those questions post that. So very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Little time once again for your own self, away from everything outside. Observe the thoughts that you have. What is it that you're thinking right now? Don't hold or stop any thought. Just become aware of your thoughts. When you become aware of your thoughts, the speed of your thoughts reduces and you feel very, very relaxed. Allow your mind to relax, and in your mind's eye, look at a staircase, steps that are going downwards, and you slowly start walking on those staircase, stepping down slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you walk down the staircase and you reach the last step, you see a beautiful ocean in front of you. Ocean which is very deep and vast. You experience the cool breeze which is blowing. Any heaviness, any stress is getting blown away with that cool breeze, and you become very, very relaxed. The lightness of that breeze is filling you up completely. You slowly become so light that you start walking on that ocean. Very, very light. You feel the flow of the water washing away any sort of unhappiness and filling you up with that enthusiasm of the waves of ocean. Just experience the enthusiasm and happiness of the waves. Filling you up completely. Let me now create a thought that I am a happy being. I'm a cheerful person. Just be with that thought that I am a happy being. Experience that feeling of happiness completely and fully. Once you are full with these beautiful vibrations and energy, you slowly start walking towards the staircase. You see the same staircase, steps which are going upwards. You start walking the steps upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You are back into your life in your same life situations, but your state of mind is full of happiness and stability. You look at yourself in a very stable, comfortable state of mind in the same life situations. And your state of mind is now influencing everything outside for peace, for contentment, and for happiness. That is it. That remains a stable, comfortable you in every situation. Very, very relaxed, very comfortable. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. I think the practice of the ladder was amazing, something that I definitely need to work on myself as well, going up and down the ladder. I think if we can do that during the day or maybe begin our day with that practice, it would be so empowering. So, what I've taken today from this session with you is that generally we search for happiness in outside in the materialistic world, but in fact, true happiness is inside us, within us. And true happiness is enjoying your own company and living in peace and harmony within your mind. And also that we neither need other people or materialistic things. When we are truly happy from inside, then you radiate happiness to others too. So success is not the key to happiness, but happiness is the key to success. And like you said, the word homework, which is a very nice word to hear after a long, long time. So my homework, I would like to share right now is that I would like to, first of all, thank you for sharing with us your wisdom, and thank my, I call them the little Zoom or YouTube family that has been created, because they are so dedicated. They support me by logging on to these sessions every Saturday, because without them, these would not go on. So, yes, my first gratitude is to you, Sister Ritu, and also to all the participants joining us today. Okay, so we have a few questions. I'll read them out to you. You had spoken a little bit about happiness and contentment. Could you give us a little bit of the relation between happiness and contentment?
Sure. So most of the times we feel that I will be contented when things outside I have XYZ, and that's when contentment will happen or contentment will come. That's the usual equation that we have, and that's how we also look at happiness. We feel that if I buy a new phone, I will be happy. Let's say if I got a new phone and it worked well for a day, and then somehow I just dropped the phone, and so somewhere I'm my equation of life is outside, and then I'll be happy or contented inside. But the reality of life is, with or without mobile, if I'm able to maintain that state of contentment, because contentment and happiness is basically our inner state. Yeah. So having them, or I'm not saying we don't have good mobile. Of course, if we want to buy a good mobile, if there's a purpose for it, we pick up good things. Yeah. I'm not saying we don't have things outside, but my state of mind is not, dependent on if I have or I don't have. When we talk about connection between happiness and contentment, these are both inner, feeling. This is my natural nature. It's not something which I can possess because of anything outside. So both of these are a state of mind. If I have, whatever I have, if I'm able to accept and allow, that's what creates a state of contentment. I'm satisfied, I'm contented with what I have. Desires is what, somewhere takes away our contentment. So if you have to understand, if there is a little less of contentment in my life, what I can do is I can check if I have more of desires in my life. Yeah. And somewhere, reduce the number of desires. What is needed, we work upon those things, but more desires will take away that contentment. So desire and contentment have a very strong connection. Happiness is being stable, is being comfortable, wherever I am, in whatever situation I am, being that stability and that comfort is what is happiness. Yeah. So enthusiasm is different. Happiness is that stability, that comfortable state of mind. And contentment is basically, less number of desires, wanting things, wanting, from outside. Less of that, I'm contented, I'm satisfied. So both of these are my own inner, innate nature of the being. And just creating those right kind of thoughts, allowing things outside to be, I'll be able to experience more of these happiness and contentment.
Okay, our next question is from a teacher as well as a parent. Can happiness be taught and improved for the younger generation or to younger children?
Hmm. So they say, values is something which cannot be taught, but they can be caught. So children would actually learn from what they are seeing around. So if they look at their teachers, their parents getting upset, getting angry when things outside are not right, when situation is not right, when other people don't behave in the way and they see adults, behaving in a not so happy way, that's the programming that we are giving to our programming, the values. the values that we are transferring to our younger generation. If we want to transfer happiness to them, the first step is I start being happy, stable, comfortable at all point in time. When I do that, they look at us, that's how they catch these values. Yeah. So first is I start being, remaining happy all the time. And that's when I can inspire other people to be happy. And that's what I can give to anybody outside. It could be younger people, it could be, of course, for younger generation, it's more of a developing age, and the programming is still happening. It's easier for us to help them pick up certain values, certain behaviors through the way we behave, right? So of course it's for children, but it's also for adults around us. When we start living in a happy way, stable, comfortable state of mind, is it's then when we are able to influence and inspire everybody around to be more happy.
The next question, sister, is how to build happiness after loss, meaning after losing someone that you love.
That's a very deep question. uh, you know Spirituality kind of answers this very, very beautifully, if I can put it that way. Spirituality says that each one of us is on our journey. Yeah, is on our own journey. We're on a long journey. So if I have lost somebody, especially at this time, I understand that this is a very valid question. Okay, so let's say if I am on this journey, I have had a similar journey in my past also. Yeah. In that life, I've had my own set of people, my family, my friends. I moved on from that journey and I'm here today. It's like a, traveler. We travel from one place to another. We have some set of co-passengers with us in that journey. We reach our destination, we move on to our next journey with new set of co-passengers. So if the question is pertaining to loss of a loved one, then that awareness that all of us are on our journey, and the best thing to do when we lose somebody who is very, very close to us is that we bless them. Wherever you are happy. I wish you all the best, all the happiness wherever you are. Of course, the feeling at some point in time may be that I wish you were still with me, but that feeling is not something that you are giving to them. You are not sending them blessings. Neither is it making you feel good, nor is it, nor are you sending blessings to them. So the best way to deal with a loss of loved one could be, one is accepting that each one of us is on our journey. And second, even better, if we are able to bless them. It's not just something that you're giving to them, but you're also empowering yourself, because you're creating that right thought which will lead to right experiences of our lives. Yeah. So the best is wherever you are happy. I wish you all the happiness in your journey onwards. Let's say if I come to Jakarta, okay, if I'm in Indonesia, if my parents here keep worrying about, oh, if they call me up and every now and then, if they're worried, if they keep telling me, I'm worried, you're not with us, you're not with us, will I be happy when I'm in Indonesia? Possibly even I'll become stressed. Yeah. But if they say, you're there, good, enjoy yourself, enjoy your travel there, and we want you to be very happy, it will really help me, experience a lot of happiness in my journey. And here back home, they will also be very stable. That's what we need to realize, that we, being all of us are also on our journey. So let's, travel light. Let's allow others to travel light by sending them a lot of blessings. I hope that helps.
There is a comment on YouTube. So when we have the loss of a loved one, we need to accept that they are on their own journey, which is, I think, very beautiful. Like you had explained it very well. The next question is, Will setting goals help achieve a sense of happiness?
Okay. So, a purposeful life will always help us channelize our energy towards the purpose or the goal that we have. Yeah. A life without purpose or a goal, we may just end up, going through life, but not having a direction. So I'm not saying, purpose could be anything. Yeah, purpose could be I want to live a happy, stable, comfortable life. Purpose could be I want to, so purpose could be anything. But when there is a purpose in life, what it does is it channelizes our energy towards that purpose. And so, yes, having a purpose or a goal in life, setting, it could be small little goals also for ourselves during the entire day. I have this habit of setting up small targets or goals for myself and putting it up everywhere in my room, those little post-it. What it does is it reminds me. It keeps reminding me that this is how I want to experience my life to be. So yes, setting up goals, what it only does is it helps us channelize our energy towards it instead of just living through life. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that was our last question, sister. Thank you. Thank you very much once again from
Thank
all of
you.
us.
It
We
was
have,
really nice being here. It was wonderful connecting with the entire family there in Indonesia. And thank you for inviting me. I had a great time. Thank you.
thank you. And we have today souls joining from all over the world, from what I see. So, yes, we have a mixture of um, souls joining us today.
Wonderful.
So, thank you everyone for joining us. And our next session will be on coming Saturday. So, I've dropped my number on the chat box. Kindly feel free to message me so that I can update you with the details of the upcoming programs. And if you would like to open your cameras so that you can personally thank Sister Ritu, it would be really nice. So we have the London family, we have a brother from Aruba, and not to forget, we have the Bali family joining us on YouTube as well. So thank you, Sister Daisy, for translating for today.
It is really wonderful to see all of you here. It's really nice to connect with the family all across the world, I must say. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. All of you have a nice weekend. Stay safe, stay blessed.